Hello everyone, today we'll be doing a countdown of the top 10 launch titles. A launch title is a game that came out on the day the console was released. The requirements for this countdown are that only one game per franchise may be included, and it must have been a US launch title. The first and only PlayStation game on this list is SSX. It was the first game released in the series for the new console and was highly received by critics. It was the best game on the PS2 at launch. It was claimed for its great graphics, controls, and wide selection of detailed courses. Up next, we have Excitebike. Excitebike is a motocrossing racing game that was made by Nintendo for the NES. It is the first game in its series. It had many features that were unheard of at its time, including a course designer. Of course, you could not save your courses because save wasn't implemented till later, but on the Wii's Virtual Console, you can save. At number 8, we have F-Zero for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was also the first game in its lineup and is another racing game. This is a futuristic racing game. It has spawned many sequels, and it is very unique. Next up, we have Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. It was the first 3D Sonic game and did very well, and it was a very well-made game, despite today's 3D Sonic games. It was also released in the Nintendo GameCube in 2003, and Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network in 2010. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was the only Legend of Zelda game to be originally released as a launch title. It came out on the Wii at launch, but strangely, a few weeks later, it also came out of the GameCube as one of the last few games released. It won many awards and is one of the longest Zelda games. I really suggest you play through this game. This game might be a controversial pick because of its high placement, but I love this game. And it was one of the first Sega third-party games, and a top-notch one at that. It came with an adventure mode to move your monkey around, and also a party mode with 6 addictive games to play with friends. One of the greatest GameCube games. Not much of a fan of first-person shooters, but I had to put this game high on the list. Why? Because it proved that the Xbox was a high competitor in the console wars, and it really brought first-person shooters to the masses, and shows how far they've gone today. Wii Sports. I'm sure you've all played this game, as it is the #1 selling game of all time, partly because of its pack-in deal, but because it was a great party game and shows that anyone can play video games, even your parents. So that's why it deserves this #3 pick. Tetris. Who hasn't played Tetris? Well, back in 1989, when people first rushed to go out and get their Game Boys, they might have seen Tetris came in the package. Now, you might have thought, well, maybe I could just play this a little bit. It's just a puzzle. And #1. Now, we all knew that a Mario game was going to be #1. But which one is it? Of course, it's the Super Mario Bros. Original. Now, the other ones are high contenders, such as Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, but this one is the original, and it brought platforming games up from its ground roots, and it single-handedly revived the video game crash of 1983. I call this game a phenomenal success, and it has a bajillion different games with the character in it, so there's no reason why I shouldn't choose this as my #1 pick.